Performance Skills, Part 3. Hello everyone. This section is about managing your equipment and your environment, as far as it's possible to do that. Paper. If you haven't committed your work to memory, and it's not in a book or a pamphlet or on a tablet or on a phone, you will have a sheet of A4. It isn't the easiest thing in the world to manage. I have suggested putting it on a stand or folding it in half so there's less to flap around. But you could replace it altogether with index cards. Again, have them in order, keep them in order, and mitigate the disaster area caused by dropping the whole lot on the floor. String them together with treasury tags. You know, bit of string, a little bar on each end. You can still buy them. There is a metal version to avoid small plastic use, and one packet will last you a lifetime. I did not spend all that time as a servant of the Crown for nothing. Phones and tablets. Again, a modicum of preparation is a good idea. The momentum of your performance is lost if you have to spend time shuffling around looking for stuff. And do make sure the font is at a legible size. Something to put them on. I've suggested a lectern, that's the posh version, or a music stand. And a useful addition to your kit bag is a clothes peg or two. Definitely outdoors, but I've found that air conditioning or a sudden draft can be a confounded nuisance indoors. If you're working from a desk or a table, why not use a small stand to raise the page to a more comfortable position so that you can look more directly at your audience or into your webcam? Lighting. It's often unkind. Sometimes it's utterly useless. If you have a stand, you can also have a little LED light to pop on the top. Magic. If you're working online, experiment with lighting beforehand. You need to see your work and your audience needs to see you. You can also make your excellent cheekbones stand out to great advantage if you're very clever. Props. It is a truth universally acknowledged that props will bite you on the bum if they have the slightest chance. The enhancement of a box of hats, a chorus with juggling, it might be very tempting. Go on, live dangerously, but practice first, and then practice again. The microphone is your friend. It may be a traditional vocal mic on a stand with a lead. Or you might be lucky and get a wireless version, giving you more freedom. Or, in the best of circles, you could get rigged up with a radio mic that clips on your frock and a backpack that has to be secured somewhere out of sight. Your knickers, my dear, are not an option. Learn how to adjust a microphone stand. It is a further universal truth that the poet who performs before you will be 6'4" and you will remain at 5'3". The two are not compatible. The microphone should be roughly at chin level. Find out where the on and off switch is. You may be handed a microphone that is already on. Shouldn't be. You may be handed a microphone that is off. manage this with the least fuss possible. If you turn your head away, the microphone can't hear you as well as it can if you're speaking directly at it. So it may add to the drama of your performance to move and move and move, but move the microphone at the same time. The microphone will pick up all the sound within its range. That's shuffles and mutters and rustles. Do beware of leads and wires if you're moving around. Tripping over is not the best way to entertain your audience. Feedback is exactly what it says. It happens when the microphone can hear itself. Don't wander around too near amplifiers and speakers. Take care with plosives and heavily aspirated sounds. Unless you have a monitor speaker, what you hear may not be what the audience hears. Check that the level's okay for them. Relax. The microphone is your friend. Turn it off nicely when you've finished. Strange but true. Some open mics don't actually have microphones. Some are in rooms where the space is intimate, the acoustic is good, and you don't need one. But it's all online now. Zoom. There are alternative video conferencing apps, but this one seems to be the most popular at the moment, and it's the one I'm familiar with. If you're using something else, I have no doubt that you will find simple instructions on YouTube to help you through. This is what I've found out in the last 6 months. Zoom works differently on PCs, laptops, on phones and tablets. Find out how your preferred equipment works before the session. Check your video, check your microphone, and find out where the knobs are. You can simply join from your browser, but it works better if you download the app. A webcam with your PC is jolly good, and they're not terribly expensive, but it's so much better if you can position it so that you can be seen on the screen. USB connected headphones give you better sound. You need a stable internet connection. Watch out for multiple devices plugging into your Wi-Fi all at the same time. Do use a strong password. Hackers and pests are still out there. The world is what it is. And while we're on security, Zoom has been made aware of its earlier failings and has published a guide how to keep uninvited guests out of your Zoom event. If you don't want the assembled company to be looking into your home and checking out what's on your bookshelves, then you can use a virtual background. They're quite fun. If you simply want to disappear while you blow your nose, you can turn off your video. You can't all talk or sing at once. The sound just goes bananas. Zoom etiquette usually requires you to mute yourself when you're not performing or holding the talking stick. Do find out where the mute button is. It's usual that the host will mute everybody when someone's performing, but it's useful to know where it is just in case. There is a chat function, so you can message everyone or individuals during the session. It adds another sociable dimension. You can record, but please ask permission. And you can screen share if you want to show words or pictures along with your spoken contribution. I didn't think I'd like it at first, but actually it's been a godsend during these last 6 months. Or bits and pieces, if you prefer. Some venues are noisy, but it's best to let your organiser deal with this. A scolding from the microphone can upset both the perpetrator and those trying to make a living from selling alcohol. Alcohol dehydrates you, and it can affect your performance in a negative way. Take your bevy afterwards. The temperature indoors will be affected by the size of the venue, the size of the audience, or who pays the utility bills. Dress so you neither freeze nor fry. Some venues are big and cold and smell of socks. Get over it. You're in show business now. Performing in the park. The great outdoors is very hard on your voice. It's wonderful if you can get amplification, but that doesn't always happen. I go back to breathing. A properly supported voice will carry further. Remember your clothes pegs so that your words do not fly off your music stand. Take water. Hydration is important wherever you are, but more so when you're outdoors. Don't shout, ever. You will damage your voice and you'll definitely be needing it again for your next performance. I hope this has been helpful. I haven't dealt with streaming on YouTube, making podcasts or using social media, but I could come back and do it another time. Thank you for watching and good luck.